Qais Akbar Omar, an Afghan-American writer, recounts his childhood in Afghanistan during the harrowing years of civil war and Taliban insurgency in his memoir A Fort of Nine Towers, 2013. Spanning the period from 1992 to 2001, the book has been translated into multiple languages and has gained significant political impact since its release. Its power lies in humanizing the Afghan people and history, while challenging the negative geopolitical perspectives often directed at the Middle East. Omar begins by recalling his life in Afghanistan before the Taliban's rise to power and the Mujahideen, radical Muslim guerrilla fighters, entered the fray. He fondly remembers his grandfather, a wise and educated man who loved reading and teaching Omar about the world. His grandfather held deep admiration for Mir Ghulam's Afghanistan, in the path of history, which offered a thoughtful analysis of Afghanistan's past and expressed hope for the Afghan people's ability to build a peaceful nation. One night in Kabul, the city's power was suddenly cut off, and Omar heard the sound of protest chants, including Allahu Akbar. His family, confused by the uprising, reacted differently. His father, Abdul, quickly left the house to join the protests. The family soon learned it was a revolt against the Soviet Union's military and economic presence in Afghanistan. In the days that followed, Omar witnessed several uprisings, varying in size, with many turning violent. To drive out the Soviet forces and assert Afghanistan's sovereignty, Kabul's residents allowed the Mujahideen to use force. With irony, Omar reflects on the stark contrast between his youthful imagination and the reality of the Mujahideen's intervention. He had envisioned them as heroic, organized figures, heroes in uniforms. But the reality was far different. Instead, Omar witnessed the arrival of countless men in dark turbans and traditional Afghan tunics and pants. The day after the Mujahideen entered Kabul, his family began hearing the deafening sound of bombs exploding across the city. These were not precision-guided bombs, but crude rockets that tore through many of Kabul's buildings, killing innocent civilians. The streets of the city ran red with the blood of Mujahideen, Soviets, and Afghans alike. The force of the rocket blasts shattered windows throughout the city, and there were few places to seek refuge. As the days passed, the people of Kabul began to see the Mujahideen for what they truly were, not the holy warriors they had claimed to be, but terrorists and brutal warlords who turned on the Afghan people. They looted homes, raped women, and wreaked havoc on their own country. A few days after this grim realization, the various factions within Kabul began to turn on one another. Escape from the city became impossible. Even the nearby Qais mountains were dotted with snipers who shot anyone daring to leave. Unable to stay safely at home, the Omar family sought refuge in the mountainous Fort of Nine Towers, or Qala Noborja, the home of their father's friend Haji Noor Sher. There, they found a much-needed sense of peace and safety. Despite their newfound sanctuary, however, they mourned the loss of their grandfather and cousin Wakil, who had stayed behind in Kabul. Amid the devastation of Kabul and the ongoing turmoil in the Middle East, A Fort of Nine Towers offers a glimmer of hope. The memoir highlights the resilience and optimism of the Afghan people, the majority of whom simply long for peace, safety, and the freedom to practice their faiths without fear. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.